There are two people here. What? Monica Kirk. Oh my God. Well, you're bopping around here. How do I turn my microphone?
Jean, would you mute yourself?
Zoom making your original mortgage payments. Ray, Edith, and Harvey.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can people hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Okay.
Monica can hear you.
All right, fabulous. I just wanted to say that we will be starting in about a minute, and to please, if there are not any questions, mute microphones so there's like minimal background noise. Thank you. Okay, it is 3:05, so let's get started. I do not have permission to record, so give me like half a second.
It's already recording, Nivi.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All right, so welcome to the part one of our seminar on social media how-to. The applications we'll be covering is Twitter, now known as X, TikTok, and Canva for videos. And I'm Nivi Kiani. I'm a senior at Sunset High School in Portland, and I'm the Youth Advocacy Chair for the Youth Council. Some of you may have seen me at the October 7th Fall Workshop, where I helped put together the Youth Council part of that presentation. And I will be leading this workshop. So we're here again just bringing up the October 7th workshop. We talked about how we are going to boost voter engagement, and especially for young voters. And since so many of us are online, that is the way we get our information. That is the way we get our news. So taking advantage of this is critical to reach young voters and get them to join the League of Women Voters. So the first application we're starting with is X. It's formerly called Twitter, probably how it's better known, and it's an online social media and social networking service. I'm assuming a lot of you are familiar with Twitter, but for the sake of this workshop, I will be starting from like a very preliminary level so that this caters to all knowledge levels, basically. So the purpose is to share anything in written forms. Posts are like occasionally accompanied by photos or videos that are in landscape form, like YouTube. And basically, if you can write it, you can share it. So I am going to be taking us through the platform. I will switch away from the slideshow in a minute back to Twitter's interface. If you want to follow along and create an account for yourself, you can go ahead, or we can just watch me do it. So I will be switching my tab momentarily. I want you guys to put in the chat if you can see the change. So I've switched now. Can you guys see the change? Okay. So, one more thing put in the chat. I'm assuming that everyone has an email account. And on top of that, does everyone have a Google Mail account, like a Gmail account? Okay, so the general consensus I'm seeing is that a lot of people here have Gmail. So that is the way we are going to create our account. Very easy. You sign up, you click sign up with Google. It basically uses your, I believe, your Gmail password. I'm just gonna put January 1st, 2000. That is not my actual birthday, but that is what I put for all online accounts if I don't feel comfortable sharing my information. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm not sharing my information, so I don't want them to see my browsing history either. I think this is just basic internet security. Probably don't provide them with an excess amount of information. Sure, let's go with this. For the league purposes, pick a username that's, of course, recognizable. Probably the League of Women Voters of Oregon, and then whatever, or of the city, county, etc., where you come from. So I think that's fine. And then however many notifications you want, just allow notifications. Sure, allow. So this part is especially important. Also, I didn't get to say, if you have any questions along the way as I'm doing this, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll be checking that periodically. So clicking these helps you to see stuff that you want to see and also pushes your content out to people who follow the same things. So since we're doing voting, I think just there's not a lot that goes with that, but we can put careers. I think that's most adjacent to what's happening here. Business and finance and arts and culture, because there's not everything that goes with that. I'm just going to skip this part, but you can feel free to do that in your free time. Okay, so here's a lot of commonly followed accounts. For the sake of this, I will just follow Forbes so we can move on. Okay, so I have a basic Twitter page. I haven't followed anything yet, so it's just basically showing me what's trending, what's popular. So you see that. As you can see, it's very easy to set up your account. So I will just switch back to the slideshow. And again, just put in the chat, you can see technology is sometimes very sporadic, so I want to ensure that everyone can see it always. Did we see the change back to the slideshow? Yes, okay, people can see. So now we're just gonna get familiar with the platform. So we're just gonna go through some of the stuff. So this is the home page. This is generally where you see accounts you follow. I haven't followed anything yet except for Forbes, but so it's just giving me what's popular right now. But once you follow more accounts, probably league accounts and some voting adjacent things, you'll be able to see more information of that. And I would definitely recommend, if you are going to create a Twitter account for your league branch, to follow other league branches and also other organizations with the same mission, because that's a great way to get information, be kept in the loop about general things going on in the voter engagement world, so to speak. So we have the search bar if you want to search for anything, people lists, keywords, notifications. This is if anyone interacts with your post, and just interaction is comment, liking, retweeting, whatever else that may be. Messages, I think with a lot of, also, am I going too fast? If I'm going too fast, I will go slower. Okay, I will continue at this rate. If there's your inbox, you can direct message other people. This is again like a great way to reach out to other branches of the league or organization. I'm assuming that inside the league, of course, there will be other ways to reach out, but if you want to reach out to external organizations and be like, hey, I saw your post on Twitter, can we do XYZ and work together? Something like that. Twitter is a great way for people to, for one, see other information, and then the people running the social media account typically know the leadership in said organization, so they will be able to help you connect with other people as well. So lists is, as you can see, it's giving me a lot of stuff that's typical to my location, which is generally very beneficial, because if you are catering to a certain group or region of people, which we are in this case, young voters in Oregon, this is very helpful to use to interact with people who are your target audience. Okay, this is communities. I think this is similar to like Facebook groups. Again, the idea still stands, interact with your target audience. Okay, we don't want Twitter Premium unless you guys are willing to pay money for that. And this is your profile. It just used my Gmail profile picture, but again, profile pictures are a key way for people to recognize you, so changing it to the league logo or something like that would be a good idea. And then you can just do that with the edit profile button and add a photo. And your name is different from your username. Again, make sure your name is very distinctly recognizable, so if people want to search up, say, League of Women Voters of Portland or Corvallis or Eugene, it is very easy for them to pick that out, so don't just use like League of Women Voters. And then your bio is also very important. This is the first look at what people have in your profile. Just state your mission statement here, what you're about, any contact information you want people to see. If you want them to email you, you can put it here, and location and website. And I would say use a professional dashboard since I'm an individual, so I haven't set up a professional dashboard, but again, it takes you step by step. And then we have some setup steps. And then we have monetization. I don't think that really applies. And then professional tools are ads. Again, you have to pay for these. So if you want to, you can. It expands your reach significantly, but you have to pay on a daily or weekly basis usually for social media ads. So however you want to do that, if you want to dedicate money to that, I guess that's up to you. And then analytics, this is very important. We'll get to this, I think, in a second. So just gonna go back to that. And so now that everyone is seeing a basic idea of what the platform is like, do we have any questions? What can you, if you have the specific use case, where do you go? Any questions like that, you can share now.
Do you want us to share verbally?
You can share verbally or in the chat, whatever is comfortable with you.
Okay, I have a question for you. I have a Twitter account, but it was set up a whole long time ago, and the setup seemed very different from what you just did, which seemed much easier. And I don't want to use either my personal Twitter account or my personal Gmail account. But if somebody in my local league were to use one of our league, addresses, like for instance, action@LWV Rogue Valley, something like that. Can you do that?
Yes, as long as it's a valid Gmail address, you can use it.
It's not Gmail. That's what I'm asking. If it's not Gmail. I mean, my original wasn't Gmail either. I mean, I have Gmail, but I didn't set this up with Gmail. So you assume that as long as it's a valid address, you can't maybe do it as easily as you just did it, but nevertheless, you can do it.
That's a good question because for most applications, they're personal to me. So I sign up for using Gmail. But I operate my personal league email account through the app of Gmail. So if I had to take a guess, I think it would work. If not, then I think you just sign up with non-Google. Let's see, Twitter, sign up. There is something wrong with that for whatever reason. Let me see if I can log out and okay. For whatever reason, the interface is acting strange at this very moment, but I'm telling you, if I had to extrapolate, since I'm assuming you operate your league account through the Gmail app, it would work. It's a Google account mail, so yes, I think that would work.
Okay, I'm not sure ours is a Google account, but I get you, and I understand that after you've already signed up, they may be giving you a problem here. But thank you, Nivi. That's very helpful.
Yep, for sure. Any other questions? Okay. Now, tips for posting. This is the real meat of the idea that we're trying to go for, targeting young voters, trying to get them to see our content and such. So in this day and age, using videos for pretty much anything is guaranteed to boost your engagement. And engagement means the number of people who are viewing your posts, liking your post, interacting with your post in general, up to 33%. And people are not looking to engage with a post for a full period unless it captures their attention. In this, again, in the modern world, people's attention span is very small. So unless they are interested within the first 1 to 5 seconds, they're gonna just move on. They're not even gonna look at your post, and then that defeats the whole purpose. So if you want to put a short video in your post, it doesn't have to be a full feature-length film or any YouTube-length video, even if it's like anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. That is much more likely to catch people's attention than text. Of course, put text along with it if you can, or if need be. But videos are definitely a really good way to get people to interact with your content more, and especially Gen Z, since we definitely prefer visuals in social media. And on that subject of what sort of videos you should post, again, pay attention to your target audience, because Gen Z like to see visuals and they like to see themselves represented in their content on screen. So images of them or videos of them in posts is beneficial for keeping their attention. Of course, don't put any random video with your text just to get people's attention. Put something that goes with the text. And then another thing I would say is ask a young person. If you have a young person in your life, a child, grandchild, neighbor, or even us, you can email the youth council. I will put my email at the end and send out other emails that you can email afterwards. Just like language and overall look and feel of a post is very important to Gen Z. I'm sure you guys can tell, like, there is a distinctive difference in the way that millennials type online with like use of emojis, language, punctuation, slang, versus older generations and younger generations. So the way that people are gonna, by default, just even in person, if they're speaking to someone who is their peer, who is like them, they're generally going to be more responsive. So using language, just like the language, even like slang and overall just like linguistic aspects of Gen Z language is a very good idea. Now, I can understand why a lot of people outside Gen Z may not be familiar with this. So again, that's where we come to asking a young person for feedback. Here, I've written this post. Do you want to proof it, or just give me any feedback on how to write the post or anything like that? I think would generally be a good idea if we are trying to get young voters to pay attention. This is not on the slide. I've put my top 3 tips on the slide. And again, did you guys see the section where it said analytics as I was going through the platform? Can you just, okay. I'm guessing that people saw it. So that is just like it tracks the activity of your posts, how well your posts are doing. So I would say take a good look at that after you've done a couple posts. I don't think 1 or 2 data points is enough because then your account will be getting off the ground. But once you have 10 or 15 posts, you have a certain trend line of how posts are doing, and experiment with different formats, especially in the first part of it. Because then once you see which posts are doing better, since Twitter will track that for you, you can try and use those formats more and experiment with those formats to make them new, fresh, and interesting. And how you do that will be getting to content creation at the end of this seminar, and as well as in the next one, which we will be talking about as well. So I think that's it for Twitter. Any lingering questions about Twitter at all? Okay, we are moving on. Okay, now we have TikTok. TikTok is an online social media and video sharing platform, and it is extremely, extremely popular among youth. I think there's 1 billion users worldwide, and a lot of them are people of my age group, ages 14 to about 30. So definitely this is a really, really great platform to take advantage of. It is short form video content that is filmed vertically with a 16:9 ratio. Again, more on that later. It can be any length, but it's usually anywhere from 10 to 17 seconds. And the great thing about TikTok is that a lot of social media platforms will often not push your content outside of people that you follow. Like if you follow people and they follow you, they're the people who are going to see your content. But with TikTok, they push it to anybody who they think, based on their previous activity, will be interested. So even if you have one follower, potentially 1,000 people could see it because they might be interested in what you're doing. So this is absolutely a great thing to take advantage to because it gives you a very wide reach. Okay, similar format to Twitter. Let's create an account together. Again, I will be using, well, now I'm actually curious because of the question about the League emails. So I'm going to try and use a League email to see if it works. So we'll continue with Google. Okay. Again, I will just use January 1st, 2000. This is just, oh, it's like this. I think this is just to test that you're not a robot. Barbara, I'm not sure, but once I create the account, we can look them up in the search bar to see if anything shows up. Okay, again, just pick a username that's very appropriate. A lot of things from general social media conventions carry over for platforms regardless of their purpose. Okay, sign up. Okay. So it seems like the League accounts do work. Okay, I think, can you guys still hear me now that I've muted? Can you guys still hear me now that I've muted this? Okay. Yes, okay. So back to what I was saying. It looks like the League accounts do work, even if they don't end with the Gmail thing. So now we can start with this thing. Again, I haven't followed anyone, so it's just showing me it's very popular. And the phone app is a little bit different than this, but I think if you have a decent command of the computer version, it will work. So the For You page is similar to Twitter's following page, and as the name suggests, it is what is for you. What they think you will like. You can like, comment, save, or the little arrow thing that was there, share a post. And then this is following. Follow a lot of popular accounts that are happening right now. There's just a lot of celebrities, but again, I would say for this one, it does not matter as much who you follow per se, because like I said, Twitter or TikTok pushes your content out even to non-followers. Then this is your profile. Edit your profile and your bio. Just again, it's people's first look at your page. Make it interesting. The one thing I dislike about TikTok is that you cannot put a link to your website or any other links in your bio until you hit 1,000 followers. So I would suggest, just if you want to share a link to your website or anything else, put them in a post about that. In the comments, it will allow you to put a link. And then this is the Explore page. again, it's some more of what they think you will like. Trying to broaden your horizons. You see different things here. Anything you want, pretty much. And then TikTok Live is an especially interesting thing. So you can go live, and as you are filming content on this, people who are following you or anyone who happens to see your live will be able to join, see, comment, interact. So if you perhaps want to have a seminar or discussion with another group of people on TikTok for other people to see, TikTok Live is a cool way to do that, for sure. And then we'll just go back because we're not watching lives right now. And then here you can search. So let's just search up LWVUS. Okay, it looks like they do have a TikTok account with quite a few followers. And just note here how they've put the easily recognizable profile picture. Very easy to see username. I did not know what their username was at all, and I just searched them up. And I was able to find them just very fast. So that is important also. You want your username to come up at the top of the list when people search up, because again, very short attention span, people are not going to scroll down to try and find you. So you need to make this like a very easily findable thing. And again, if you guys are making TikTok accounts for your specific chapters, I would definitely recommend following these accounts, like the league accounts, because if you follow other related accounts, your content will also be pushed to those people. So an added benefit is that people will see more people who are interested in that will see your account, and potentially if other leagues or other people who are part of leagues see the account, they might be inspired to have their leagues make TikTok accounts, and then perhaps a very large portion of leagues will be able to appeal to young voters that way. So I would definitely recommend doing that. Okay, so that is the general gist of TikTok. It's very user-friendly. When you create an account, especially on the phone, like if you have the app on your phone, it will take you through it step by step if you have any concerns. So that's what I'm doing right now because the computer doesn't offer that service. So do we have any questions about the general TikTok interface so far? Okay. Okay, so hashtags. Yes, we will be getting to that actually right now. So hold that thought. Okay. If someone looks to your account, will they see? They can look through your following list if your account is public, and by default, your account is public. So people can see unless you make it private. So if someone happens to stumble upon your account, they can look through your following list and see if you follow that. And also if you follow the same account they do, it will show up that you have a mutual account that you are following. Does that answer your question? Oh, will the League of Women Voters US post show up? So there's one of two ways that can happen. If they directly go into the list of people you are following, which they do have access to, and click on the account and see your posts, they can see that. Actually, there's three ways that can happen. Another way is if they follow you, they might get to see the League of Women Voters US posts. And then the third way is if you go into their feed and repost or share another one of their posts, the people who follow you will be able to see it. Does that make sense? Can you repost them automatically? No, I don't think you can. You have to manually go in and choose to repost. Because if the thing is, they don't allow you to do that because if you're just reposting automatically, they're going to think you're a robot who's just stealing their content and then they will disable your account. So that you have to do it manually. Okay. So, tips for posting. When you're creating these short videos, you have to start with a hook immediately. Whatever short attention span people have on Twitter, cut that in half or a third for TikTok. If you even, you need to start with a hook immediately, otherwise people will just scroll past your video without a second thought. You need to tell viewers what the video is about ASAP so they can decide whether they want to watch it or not. And even if they're not interested in the topic immediately, using eye-catching visuals or verbal and visual indicators within the first 1 to 2 seconds may convince them to watch the video. And just the best litmus test for evaluating a good hook is ask yourself, would you stop to watch the video? And if the answer is no, then it's not good enough. And I would say that obviously people's opinions are subjective, so ask a couple of different people of perhaps varying age groups if you can. Again, you can email the videos to someone on the youth council and we can watch them and provide our feedback too as well, to see if they would watch the video. Just ask a couple of different people is what I would say. So that's the first step to getting people to watch your video. And then the second part is we need to get people to actually have the video appear on their feed so they can watch it, because most of the time people aren't searching up a certain account and seeing, oh, let me just watch their posts every few days or so. They're just seeing what's on their For You page. So getting people to interact with your content tells the TikTok algorithm, oh, people are liking this or they feel strongly about this, so more people may want to see this. So interaction with the content rather than just passive watching is definitely very important. So I would say be surprising, share a shocking fact or something funny, something that makes people feel strongly very soon after the hook, or even in the hook, because that would get people to watch for longer. And then that way people will have something to say about your video and then they will put it in the comment section. And comments are almost like the best way for TikTok to see that people are enjoying or they want to watch this video or see more of it. So giving people something to comment about is critical for sure. Did you say we can put links in the comment sections without 1,000 followers? Yes, you can. Yeah, it's not a foolproof method because sometimes the TikTok algorithm will be like you're trying to cheat us putting links, since they don't allow you to put links in your bio, they might think you're trying to cheat the system, so they may reach out to you about it. I have a TikTok account for another work-related thing, so that hasn't happened to me yet, and I've put them in the comments, but I would say be careful about that. And don't mention the word link at all in the comment, because then that will alert the TikTok algorithm for sure. If you want to alert people in the post to put a link that there's a link in the comments, you have to deliberately misspell the word. Instead of saying link, L-I-N-K, that would automatically alert the TikTok algorithm that you're trying to cheat the system and it'll take your content down. I would say just do something just look in the chat. So it communicates the same idea, but you don't deliberately use the word link so that TikTok will take your content down. Does that make sense? Okay. And before we do the last one, I will just talk about hashtags, since that is also pushing your content out. So hashtags are very important. I think especially if you are doing location specific, which you are. So putting things like hashtag Oregon or hashtag whatever city like Portland, Corvallis, Eugene in your post. You don't have to put it directly in the video. Once you start to upload your video, TikTok will very clearly prompt you to put in hashtags. So that's a pretty easy and very user-friendly thing to do, so I'm not going to go into that. But a good thing about TikTok is you can see popular hashtags by how many videos or plays they have. So if you search up a hashtag in the hashtag search bar that I will provide you with, you can see XYZ hashtag has been put in 3 million videos. And the more videos that hashtag has, I would say put those hashtags in. You run the risk of them being lost in like the mass of videos that also have that hashtag, but then at the same time, it increases the probability of the video being put on more people's pages. And I would say don't be afraid of being repetitive. I'm not saying put Oregon, 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 Oregon like 100 times as a hashtag, but put like different iterations of the same idea. If you want to do like hashtag Oregon, hashtag Oregon State, hashtag I love Oregon, that also works. It pushes that, it makes it very clear to the TikTok algorithm who your target audience is, so that way you can maximize the amount of people seeing your video, but also you don't want the video to go to people who will see it and can't do anything about it, because if a person in say like Iowa watches it, they can't join the League of Women Voters of Oregon, right? So you want the video to go to as many people as possible, but also to the right people. And that leads me right into my next point. You have to post at the right time. TikTok does have specific posting times where the video goes out to the most people. And also you want to post at times when you think your target audience, which is youth in Oregon, will be online. And now I think we're online a lot, but most people open their social media apps after work, after school, or either before work, before school, or in break times like lunch that happen around noon. So basically beginning, middle, and end of the day are like the best places to post. I have like a list on the next slide, so that will be there for you guys. Yeah, and posting at the right time is especially important because the TikTok algorithm, what it does is it tracks your the engagement in the very like initial period. So in the first, I think it's the first 2 hours, however much engagement you get, then it decides to push it to a group of people. So like in the first 2 hours, it may push it to 100 people, but if 100 people don't do anything because they're all 50-year-olds from Texas, your video is not gonna go out to more people. So you want it to target the right time and target the right people for the content, if that makes sense. Because if they like it, they engage with it, it's going to push it out to more people like the ones who engage with it, regardless of the time. And then if more people in that bigger audience engage, it pushes out to more people, and it's basically just like, it goes like that. So you want to post at the right time. So here's a little chart. It varies from day to day because the TikTok algorithm kind of takes an average of the entire world, but this is in Pacific Standard Time. So just like, I'd say you don't have to post at these times, but this is really the most ideal time. I think like for Monday, you'd have the entire day to create a video or two and then post it at night. But if, for example, Wednesday, it's very early, maybe just create the video the day before and then post it early, since posting only takes 4 or 5 minutes. So just like that, I would definitely recommend keeping this chart for reference so you can use it, since it's just unnecessary effort to have to memorize it, really. Okay. We have our third platform now, but before I move on, do we have any questions? Okay. So now I have been talking for quite some time about you have to make your content, but making content goes beyond just taking a picture on your phone and posting it online. That may have worked a few years ago when social media platforms hadn't branched out so much, so to speak, but that doesn't work anymore. People will just look at your picture. They may not even like it or even acknowledge that it happened. So you need to make your content more interesting and spruce it up. And one of the best ways that you can do that is through Canva. Since I have talked about TikTok and Twitter, which both have a video component to them, I will be talking about how to make a video on Canva. But as you can see here on the slide, Canva is a multi-purpose online content creation service. You can make almost anything. I think I have made slideshows on it, I've written cover letters for jobs on it, I have made Instagram posts for it, I've made videos for it, both landscape and for Instagram and such like that. So it can really be used for anything. Before I go on, how many people are familiar with Canva and know how to use it for videos specifically? Okay, so I'm seeing that there is not a whole lot of familiarity, at least for this particular use. So this I'm just gonna really speed through because this is again another thing that is very applicable across social media platforms. Actually, I'm just not gonna do it at all because you sign up with Google and it takes you directly to the site. And again, I've signed up here with my youth advocacy one. I did it a little bit before the meeting. So we have that. So now we have, you can access your recent designs here. I do not have any since my account has been recently created. And then you can see different types of things you can make here. See, you can make anything. So you can make a horizontal video, you can make a square Instagram post, a flyer, a Facebook post. So that actually, there will be more on that in the next social media seminar. But what we want to do to make videos is we're going to search up in the search bar here, TikTok video. And see here, we have the TikTok video templates. And I said it was 16:9 content, and basically that means it's just like it's filmed in portrait mode. It's a tall rectangle rather than a wide one. So you get a lot of different templates here and these are not very hard and fast templates. You can do pretty much whatever you want. You can replace the text, you can replace the footage, you can replace the amount of text, type of text, any graphics. So these are basically very loose outlines as to suggestions. So you can just go through ones that you like. Here I'm seeing a lot of inspirational quote type ones, but I don't think that's what the purpose is. Barbara, you can do this with a free account. I am on a free account right now. And so you can narrow them down, let's say professional, since I suppose it would be professional. And a good thing about this is you can invite collaborators on, you can have a team of people I'm on Mimi's team since this is a league account. And just a variety of themes. You can even do by color, which I think would be beneficial for the league. And then this is a little bit more secondary, so I won't go into that. So I will just show you around with a template. Let's just use this template for the sake of simplicity. But all the things, if you decide to start from scratch, it's the same idea. Is an account that ends in official a verified account? As far as I'm aware, you don't need to be verified on Canva at all because you don't follow other people or interact with other people in any way. This software is very individual. So, does that make sense? Okay. So we have our template here. And here you just have to click on this arrow to expand everything. And let's say that this person, the stock model, is saying join. You can just click on the text box to edit text. It's pretty similar to any slides or PowerPoint type thing that you've ever used. So join LWVR. Let's say. Okay. Very simple idea. You can change text color here, text font here. Skip tour. I already know how to use Canva, but and then here another good thing is even inside the template, the type of look and feel you want to go with. You have different things. So I can just change the font to, let's say, Boston Angel. Then it changes over here. And you can change to regular or bold here. And again, just another more text related things. Alignment is here. Can make it a bullet point. Line spacing. Effects is like just different things, and you can modulate the intensity that it has. And then animating text box, which again, if you've used Google Translate or not Google Translate, Google Slides or PowerPoint before, then it is the same idea. You can just animate your text and get previews if you hover over box. And then here is the design part. You can get different templates. So you're not, if you click on something and you find out you don't like the template very much, you're not stuck with that. You don't have to delete it. You can just transplant a different template onto it. You can replace current page or add a new page. And then elements is basically if you want to add any sort of graphics to this. Let's say women voting. So you can have little animated graphics or pictures or any audios that relate to this. But again, most audios you have to have Canva Premium or Pro, and generally they're not very, very good for that. And there will be more on audio later, so I will get to that. Or you can add short video clips, stock footage if you don't want to take videos. And here is just, it separates it out for you in a different way. And I mean, text is text. I don't think it gets any simpler than that, but you can also choose different stock text. So you get the predetermined look and feel, and then you can edit the text however you want. just gonna remove that since it doesn't go with this template at all. It's being very slow. Okay, we'll just minimize it for now. And then brand is, oh, I already have a LWV one, so if you, and it already gives you a color palette, so you can use these customized colors that it already gives you to, say, animate or pre-decide your color palette. So it takes the color palettes from the image logo or from your logo or the photo that you put of your logo, and you can use them to color different things in the video, like the text. If you want it to be the same blue as this, you can do that by just clicking on the text, and then you have the color palette, so you can change that. And then uploads is if you want to put in your own image or record yourself, get your own footage. And then draw isn't really as relevant, so I'm not gonna go over that. So let's try and make a little short video. So again, if you want to follow along, make one yourself and share it with the League of the Youth Council. We will be more than happy to look at them. So for my text, let's do this one. Like this text, just be like, this is going to be obviously a very rudimentary video. Make videos more complex than this for TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is. So let's just say join LWVOR. And here you can see that you can animate or position text to automatically align. But I don't want the text for join LWVOR to be this long because it takes less time than that to read it. So you can adjust timing here. Let's say it's 3 seconds. And then you can say just, I'm gonna just for fun see if anything about the League of Women Voters comes up here if I look at elements, if any images. Okay, nothing directly relevant to the League, but general idea of voting is there. So let's just say voters. And then you can switch the orientation of images just by clicking and dragging on the arrows. And say you. So basically you're pointing at the user. This is images. It will be seen relatively fast. So again, I don't want this to be so long. And so full screen, you can preview your video. Hold on. It's not playing for whatever reason, but you can basically go into preview and play your video. And to download this, to post, you need to download it and have it in your computer or your phone or whatever. So, but before I just go down to that, you can add people. So if you want someone's feedback on a video or you want them to help you work on it, you can. Oh, present might be the case. Okay. Anyways, to download the thing, you go to download. You get all types of things. For now, it is giving me PNG. Okay, wait, can scroll down. So MP4 video is best. So you go to MP4, and you don't want to make it extremely low quality either, because then people will not be as likely to watch it. Generally, I disagree. I don't ever make my social media videos 720. I make them 1080 HD because that, again, good visuals, good quality visuals will draw a viewer in. But don't make it 4K because that's, again, for large screens, and it also makes rendering the video really slow, so it'll just buffer and no one will end up seeing your video. So that is a basic preview of Canva. You can also just go home and it auto saves, so you don't also just like wait a few seconds, but it does auto save, as you can see. So I have this thing here. I haven't renamed it or edited the thumbnail, so it just shows it as the template. But you can make the same thing. You can make the same thing without like a template. You just have to, if you want to create from scratch, just do a create blank and you can pick all the colors and text and whatever it is yourself. Okay, that is the basic idea of creating a video. Is there any questions? Oh, was it a little fast? I'm sorry about that. I will go a little slower. Again, I'll just do a quick review. Elements is any shapes, images, lines, graphics, ideas that you could want. Diana, I will be getting to the ideal length of a video just right after this review. And then text, different fonts, different types. And then upload files, any of your own images, download them to your computer beforehand. You can use Twitter and TikTok on your phone, and Canva does have an app for phone, but I would not recommend using it since this is just much easier and much better to see a preview of your actual content, so I would say use this on the laptop. And then there are different apps also. These are not as helpful. I would always say that you can create them from scratch. And again, just the timing, you can, of a single clip, you can change it here. You can also click and drag, and it intervals by 1/10 of a second, so you can get pretty specific. Again, share and download your video here. And it also tells you the overall length of the video. Oh, there you go, now it's playing. There's nothing there, but that's the way you can preview your video and see how long it is before you post. Okay, so just did that. Okay, so this isn't very specific to Canva, but since this is for Canva videos, these are tips for creating videos. As you may know, a lot of social media platforms have different trends. These are usually dances, songs, audios, animations, jokes, pretty much anything can be a trend. And they take the internet by storm. You will see, if there's a trend going on, that is pretty much all like 90% of what you will see online as you go through a social media platform. As such, it's very important to take advantage of these trends. You don't, if it's a dance, obviously a dance is not going to be super appropriate for what is happening in the league, but you can put your own spin on it. That's what makes trends interesting, because if everyone was doing the same thing, then people would get bored of it very fast. So if you want to make a certain song or audio in context of voting or getting young voters to vote, then that's really up to you. You have creative freedom on that. I can't tell you how to do it, just since trends are very case by case basis. So however you choose to do that is very much up to you. And trends go away fast. So as soon as you see a trend, that means that it's already popular. So trends go like this. They escalate and then they de-escalate. So by the time you see it on your feed, it's pretty much already halfway through. So once you see it, you need to hop on it and make a video as fast as possible within the next day or two, and that really spikes your viewership. That means that a lot of people will see that. I would definitely, and TikTok also has an analytics section, so I would definitely try and take advantage of a trend for TikTok and see how that changes your viewership and engagement levels in comparison as to when you don't. I can say with a very decent amount of certainty that it would help. Okay, question. Are these videos easy enough to post on a website without using YouTube or SM? What is
Social
that?
media.
Oh, social media. So you can take a video on your phone and post it, but it's not going to get as much viewership. And also, yeah, videos can be posted just like a photo. You will get an option once you click the post button. Do you want to post a photo or a video? Click the video option and it takes you from there. It's very step by step, so it doesn't take a whole lot of repetition to get the hang of it. Okay. And then back to that. Maximize the use of your content. A good thing about TikTok is a lot of other apps have similar short form video content sharing abilities. TikTok is mostly just for that, but Instagram, you have Instagram Reels, you have Facebook Reels, you have YouTube Shorts. So you can use the same exact video and post it in 4 different places, so that again, like, maximizes your reach, maximizes engagement, ensures that as many people will see it as possible. Because I've seen this, at least in my school, usually people don't have every single social media platform. They will have what they like, what works for them. So some people will have TikTok but not Instagram, or vice versa. So I would say posting on as many platforms as you can is definitely the best practice. And then to Diana's question, make videos short and sweet. Again, short attention span on social media, I would say between 10 to 17 seconds is ideal. This seems like a very short period of time, and this is not a hard and fast rule. That the idea is just to hook videos in, and then that overcomes the initial inertia, and if they are interested, they will just stay for as long as they really want. I think there are videos on TikTok that are extremely long. I stayed to watch like a 6-minute long TikTok video, and in comparison to how long TikTok videos usually are, that is crazy long. But if people are interested, they will stay. They just need to overcome the initial inertia period. But if you can, just make your TikToks as short as possible, 10 to 17 seconds, because they're not gonna continue. They're not gonna watch all your videos if they are that long. Okay, so what has been the most successful type of news you have seen on TikTok? Short bullet points paired with the video sequence. Okay, that is a good question. TikTok algorithm responds best if there's a face in that video. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. Even if you show stock footage with someone's face, it's gonna work. I would say that you want your videos to not just be a sequence of images if that's possible. You want them to be like actual sequences of videos, so it's active, dynamic, moving. I've seen a lot of news style videos, like just news anchors, which are actually regular people talking about something that they're passionate about or they want to share some certain news. So they'll just literally sit in their room and talk to a camera like I'm talking to you right now. You can also do like images and bullet points. It it works for some things, but I wouldn't say for an extended period of time. If you want to say that, for example, there's a league event going on, it's going on on this date, at this time, this venue, come if you can. I think that would be an appropriate thing to use an image and bullet point sequence for. But if you maybe want to talk about a more complex concept such as rank choice voting or something else, a current political event, I would say a video is better. And also, to that end, subtitles are very important on TikTok videos because a lot of people will maybe just open TikTok as they're on the bus or in an Uber or in the cafeteria at work or something like that. And they don't want to put it on full volume or volume and disturb people. So a lot of people will just watch TikTok on mute. So putting subtitles for what you're saying in your videos is very helpful because if people are on mute, and a lot of people do watch TikTok on mute, they're not going to watch a video if they can't hear what it's saying. They're not going to read your lips. So putting subtitles is very important. You can put on automatic subtitles on TikTok as you post your TikTok. It may prompt you to do that. Those aren't as accurate, so I would say if you want to maybe just put them in your video as like a text box type thing, that's better. And again, just back to the trends thing. Use music and audio that is also trending right now, because even if you want to make it like softer, it does push your content to more people. Can you edit an auto-generated subtitle? No, you don't get to. I don't think you can. It just kind of comes after you post the video. So if you want to ensure that it is as accurate as possible, I would just say enunciate or speak as clearly and as you can and make sure your microphone quality is good. Yes, so that is the general idea. Any questions overall about Canva? Anything right now?
Is it possible you can share a sample video of something you have created so we
I
can?
can also go over anything else if need be. Like just to go over again, or if you have any questions about any platform at all. I cannot hear Diana. Can you share a video you have made for your Sunset Union? I actually have not made any videos for my student union yet. Most of our posts are just to alert people of meeting dates, so that's just a very simple image with text. I haven't done any videos for that. But now that you mention it, would probably be a good idea to make some. So if I do make any in the future, I will share them with you guys for examples or just general ideas. Okay, any other questions? Thank you. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, issues with social media that you guys run into later, if at all happens, which it might because technology is sometimes kind of variable, you can email me at this email. If you want to take a picture, write it down, that's fine, or I will be sending out these slides afterwards, or well, they'll be in the recording as well. You can get it there. So if that's all, congratulations. You have successfully completed part 1 of the League's social media how-to seminars. And if you want to come to part 2, there will be stuff on Instagram and Threads, which is Instagram's Twitter adjacent companion app. Facebook, which I'm guessing that a lot of you are familiar with. And Canva for images like the way you see in traditional Instagram posts. That will be on Sunday, November 26th from 7 to 8:30. All right. Thank you so much for coming, guys. It's been great.